Thank you so much for that follow. I appreciate it. Oh, there it is. Damn. A P100 Nia, bro. Oh my goodness. I knew it was coming. There are three things that are guaranteed in life: death, taxes, and being told some really heinous shit in the endgame chat for playing the ghoul in Dead by Daylight. And as it seems right now, in my unprofessional medical opinion, I think I'll be healthy enough to live for the next 1,000 years. And when it comes to taxes, the good thing about being a streamer is you don't have to pay them. So it looks like we're really only going to get into one topic today, and that is the endgame chat when you play either certain killers or killers in general, as you can see from the opening clip of what I was exposed to this week. Now, before we get into the actual rant of the video, I don't want to be that guy that promos himself in his own YouTube channel. I know that's pretty cringe. I would hate to tell you that I'm live on Twitch Monday through Saturday, 5 to 9 p.m. Central Time, and it's an awesome place to come hang out with some amazing people. I definitely wouldn't want to tell you to check out camspookycorner.com for all of my social links to support me on other platforms, including the donation link and an 18 and up Discord server. And the last thing I don't want to do is tell you to like and comment on the video to push it up the algorithm, or to subscribe to my channel to help me get to my 10,000 subscriber goal. But I guess those topics are neither here nor there. So as we get into this video today, the main thing I want to discuss is how I feel, and I want to talk about just how crazy it is. And I think it's good to get this sort of exposure for this topic so we can realize how really insufferable as a person you have to be to tell somebody this shit in an endgame chat in a video game. But also so we can hopefully come up with better ideas together to create a healthier community, so we can spread awareness to the developers who are not necessarily responsible for the things people say in the endgame chat, but should understand the culture of the game they've created, with the sort of balancing issues and dividing the us versus them mentality for monetary gain. So with that, obviously, as you can see from the clip, I got told to basically uninstall IRL from this Nia, from this match of the ghoul I was playing. And you'll be able to tell right here in the B-roll footage too how the game went. I ended up winning on the ghoul. It was pretty bad from the beginning. The Sable I went after pretty much just gave up right off the rip. The Nia was not experienced or a good player at all, which I think is kind of funny that she was the one to actually hurl a crazy insult like that. And I just think the overall level of entitlement that it's gotten to survivors is basically, if you don't like the experience, go next. And if that's not enough for you, then say whatever you want in the endgame chat. Now, I will say that I did report the comment, you know, and I'm pretty sure, well, I would like to hope that behavior is going to take that very seriously. I really don't know what kind of punishment goes for doing something like this in a video game, specifically Dead by Daylight 2. But in my opinion, I think it should be an insta-ban. I don't care. I don't care how much money they spent. I don't care anything. I think if you have that mentality as a human being to tell someone else to uninstall IRL, I think immediately you should just be banned from the game. That's it. Obviously no refunds, no nothing. That's it. Your account's gone forever. You can't join back. I just don't think there's any room for that sort of hate. I also think when it comes to things like, you know, racism and sexism and stuff like that, and hate towards someone's lifestyle and, you know, decisions, I also think those are things that should just be insta-banned in general. I'm all about witty banter in the endgame chat. If you want to call me toxic, if you want to call me a tunneler or slugger or skill issue, those are like more acceptable forms of like witty banter at the end. You know what I mean? But to cross that fine line of hate, prejudice, racism, and ultimately telling someone to, you know, just end it over a video game, I think should have absolutely no place in any gaming community at all. And before people start flooding my comment section like a bunch of Reddit moderators, trust me, I know it's gaming. This is stuff that we've been exposed to forever, but that doesn't mean we should be okay with it either. And I think it's something we need to talk about. I mean, I myself grew up playing Call of Duty back in the days where people could join your, you know, the voice chat and just hurl the most random shit ever just to get a giggle out of your friends. I'm also the guy that played League of Legends for 10 years before I even hopped on Dead by Daylight, where you could literally type whatever you wanted during the match, before the match, after the match. And trust me, I've seen some really gross comments there too. But again, I don't think it's okay. And I don't think we should be, you know, desensitized to it to the point where we just roll our eyes and say next. And I think the funniest thing about this dynamic too is, I don't know what y'all's experience is when it comes to dealing with this sort of shit, but I can honestly tell you, I have never, from the Survivor POV, like from playing Survivor, I think the most hateful shit I've ever been told by a killer player is like, and I'm not saying in general killer players are just less toxic than survivors. I'm saying it definitely goes both ways too. But I just can't really ever think about the comments going this far when I've played Survivor against a killer who decided to speak in the endgame chat. I mean, I've been called toxic before. I've been told GG easy. I've been told, like, you know, false accusations that I'm a hacker or that, like, quote unquote bully squad, you know. But I've never ever seen it cross that line before from killer to survivor. I've only seen content and experienced it myself from playing killer, receiving it from survivors. Now, I know this experience is not for everybody. I'm sure there's some people out there that have been told some pretty awful things from killer players too. I'm just giving you my personal experience and how it looks from optics and perception of everything. And two, if you look in the clip as well, in the lobby that I was in, there were 3 people that were on PC with me, right? And the 4th one can't confirm nor deny if they were on PC or not. I guess they could have been on an Epic account and been on PC too, but we'll say they were on console just for argument purposes. There's 3 people there in that endgame chat that saw, you know, what Nia said, and that could have either said something, or who knows if they reported it or not. But I'm genuinely curious if they did. To me, like, if I hop into a lobby, right, and we get done with Survivor, and another survivor, like one of my teammates, says that to the killer, I'm immediately defending the killer. And I'm immediately going after that survivor. I'm saying something along the lines of basically, you're wrong for saying that. That is a terrible comment to make. I'm reporting you. Everybody in the lobby, please smash that report button, including the killer. Killer player, I'm so sorry you had a survivor tell this to you. It is disgusting. It is not something that should ever be allowed. But like in this lobby right here, just not a peep out of it, you know? And I'll give them the benefit of the doubt. They could have reported that person for their comment, but I mean, I don't know. I would just like to see a little bit of, like, you know, a little bit of defense there, like, whoa, or like, yo, what are you doing? You know what I mean? Just some sort of reaction, but who knows? Maybe they were in a swift and they were just all okay with this comment from their friend. Like, I just don't know what would ever possess somebody to say something like that and to cross that line in the endgame chat. It's just, you really got to be a really miserable person in your life to do something like that, to wish that upon someone else too. And the thing that makes me feel bad, and I want to get this out there too, by the way, since we're on the topic, I don't close the endgame chat. I know it's something I could do. I know it's something I recommend to other killer players to do, but I keep it open so we can make content out of it and raise awareness about how gross people's comments and mindsets are in this game, you know? Obviously, if you're a casual player, I don't recommend you ever keep it open, so you never have to see something like this. But, you know, it just kind of makes me think to myself, like, if you are just that casual killer player, maybe you're, and there's no telling what you're going through in life. Maybe you had a bad breakup. Maybe you lost your job. Maybe your family has some sort of sick family member that, you know, things are looking pretty bad. And like, you just want to hop on and escape with a video game and play a match of killer in DBD because you're a killer main. And that's what happens is you see this shit right here. If someone's having, as someone like me that has struggled with depression and anxiety most of their adult life, I'll be the first to tell you that, like, comments like this hurt more than you think they do. And, you know, it's not just about, oh, well, just toughen up. It's just a video game. It's just a troll on the internet. Like, all you're doing by saying those comments, I feel like, is not validating the person's feelings of who is getting insulted and told these disgusting things. And we're also starting to create this culture of gaming where people are okay with this shit, you know? Instead of, when we repeatedly say, you know, suck it up, it's a video game, people are going to be mean, but then you're like justifying the other person in a way. You're making people become desensitized to seeing this stuff, and you're making people afraid to speak up too, because when people are so afraid of comments, like me, if I were afraid of getting comments on this video, people basically being like, oh, suck it up, you're just a crybaby, and now it makes people not want to speak up and raise awareness on the matter. And for a lot of people, that can be something that's a healthy outlet for them, you know, is speaking up on the topic and venting to their friends, you know, and their people that are close to them, like, hey, look what I kind of went through today in this game, like, you know, like, can we just talk about this? Like, I need to get this off my chest. I mean, shit, that's the whole reason why I'm making this video right here, is because, you know, it's not just oh, Cam loves listening to himself talk, because trust me, I do. I love listening to myself talk. But, you know, I'm just trying to really just raise awareness by how divided and how gross some people are in this community. And I know we've been recently having a lot of YouTube content come out where people are talking about, like, oh, you know, the DBD community is the worst, right? I'm sure y'all have seen the videos of big streamers from other communities talking about the DBD community and how toxic it is. And then some people from the DBD community are defending it. and saying no, every game's toxic. I'm gonna tell y'all something right now. In my like coming up on 2 years of playing DBD, the amount of hate and over the line comments, I don't mean just trash or GG easy, I mean like truly like hateful comments like the one you saw here in this video. I've been told that over double, maybe even triple already than the amount of time I spent in League of Legends, you know? And I just think that's incredibly wrong. I think the fact that I was able to play what was considered one of the most toxic games ever with full on in-game chat, by the way, for over 10 years, and maybe get this less than a handful of times the entire time. And you're telling me in 2 years, I've already like triple or quadrupled that number of people saying shit like this? It's not, we cannot defend this community more. We have to talk about it and how fucked up this is. I don't know what it is about Dead by Daylight in general that makes people get this way, or why people are so unhinged playing this game. But I think we just need to discuss it and where this anger and frustration comes from. It's a PvP game, but we're no strangers to PvP games. We grew up playing PvP, most of us did. I just don't know why this one specifically really brings out the worst in people. You know, like this really does. Like, I kind of have thoughts and conspiracies of why. I think with this community, you know, because it's a 1v4 PvP, like everything's just done on a much smaller scale. So maybe everything feels more personal, where it's like insulting in a way. Like, think about it, you know, when it comes to disconnecting. If you're in a Call of Duty lobby and you're playing team deathmatch, you know, 8 on 8 or whatever the numbers are, if someone on the other team DCs, you don't really like notice or care, and you get someone to fill the lobby, right? Now, and it's just kind of just like normal. It's like, oh, it is what it is. Or even Overwatch and Marvel Rivals, you know, people DC, it's like, well, we're going to get another teammate. It is what it is, you know? But, you know, like even something as small as disconnecting in DBD, you notice it right off the bat. You hear that noise and it just shakes, you know, like boom, that guy DC'd, he's pissed. You know what I mean? Like everything just hits so much harder here. Or like, you know, when it comes to targeting, like if you're in, you know, like an Overwatch lobby, you know, and you're playing, you know, a match and everybody's targeting the healers, right? Like what you're supposed to do. Well, I don't know. I'm not no Overwatch player, but you know what I mean? Like that's targeting, right? But people are used to it. They're like, yeah, I'm the healer. Of course they're going to go for the backline and get rid of me. Okay, well now if you want to target in DBD and go for one survivor and tunnel them, then it's just like, they have to write this entire documentary about you and how you're just this awful person that, you know, freaking performs rituals in your basement and doesn't pay your taxes on time. I don't know, man. I'm just so fed up with all of it, bro. I just don't understand why this community has to make everything so personal to the point where they become like vindictive about it, like back at you. Like this Nia that I went against, right? You can tell that she was personally upset by my player choice playing the ghoul. You can tell that she was definitely pissed off that I won, right? You can tell that she probably didn't like my playstyle throughout the match. And if you look in the footage too, I'm going to show you, she had a teammate, a Sable, that literally gave up from the beginning of the game. I'm saying, look at her blood points. Sable had 6,000 blood points, bro. Gave up at the beginning of the match. I knew it. I told my chat, she just don't want to play against the ghoul. But how am I... Like, how am I the awful person here? You know what I mean? Like, how is it that I am the person that not that anyone ever deserves these hateful comments, bro, but how am I the one that gets the brunt end of this when it's just a team issue and a skill issue? You had a teammate not even want to play because they saw they were going against the ghoul. Why aren't you talking to them? Why aren't you like, hey, like, you shouldn't abandon from your teammates. We should play and ride this out together. You know what I mean? Like, why is that not being discussed? Why is it like, oh, I'm just the terrible person because I'm the killer? Everything always gets projected back onto the killer, and I'm just really sick of it. Whether your teammate doesn't play efficiently, someone gets tunneled, y'all lose. Y'all don't, and no one ever reflects on themselves as a person. It's always outward projection, and it's so bad. And it's all just so easy. And I guess this culture of this game has made it so easy to blame the opposing side. I mean, if you're playing killer, if it's a toxic killer player, then it's easy just to blame the survivors. Oh, they're being toxic. They gen rush. They ran full meta and they're abusing the game. They're abusing these gameplay mechanics, like with these perk synergies and stuff. Like, it's the same way. And then for survivors, it's easy just to blame the killer for having a bad experience. I just really wish that behavior would do more like exposure on this kind of thing. Cause you know this happens. Like y'all see the reports, dude. Y'all know this happens. And I firmly believe that they do like an us versus them mentality because it kind of generates content and it generates discussion, which generates numbers and money, whether you like to think that or not. But at a certain point, like you really should look out for the betterment of your player base. These people that play this, niche, not niche, popular game, whatever it is, the people that have dedicated all this time and money into your game when you started as just this little indie company that didn't even know where you'd be at 10 years from now. And the player base has managed to elevate you to become the most competitive and best, quote unquote, asymmetrical horror game there is. And like, look at how people are. Like, every time, I just want y'all to know, like every time y'all make a balancing decision that benefits, survivors and stuff, look at what you're giving tools and access to. Like people like that, like you're giving more, strengths to the side of people like that Nia player that don't deserve it at all. They don't even deserve to play this game, dude. I just really think that they need to raise way more awareness on this. We need to have more monthly streams and content pushed out that talks about respect and respecting the other player's side. I personally think they should just get rid of the endgame chat and just in general, because like I've said before in my killer anxiety video, maybe 1 out of 10 times you ever get told something nice. Most of the time it's this bullshit right here. And I don't even know how that word was even not blurred out. That should just be in the word list, maybe like a phrase that should just be blocked out completely. And at the very least, if you want to keep everything going the way it is, just let everybody know you have a zero tolerance policy for this. The second they see that report, you're getting banned immediately as quickly as possible. You are never allowed to come back to Dead by Daylight. And I guarantee if you start doing that shit and maybe just kind of releasing some numbers of like, oh, this month we banned this many people for saying these sort of hateful comments in the endgame chat, people are gonna probably start to catch on and take it more seriously of like, oh, maybe I can't just get away with saying whatever I want. And I feel so bad for people that play like killers that are just not liked. Like if you're a ghoul main or a knight main or a legion main, I can only imagine like the stacks of comments you have from people saying nasty shit, whether it's on your Steam profile, you've been told in your streams, you've been told in the endgame chat. Like this is what has just been created as a byproduct of this game, and I just think it's so gross, dude. Let me know what your thoughts are in the comments below. Let me know your experiences if you want to talk. This is definitely a safe place for everybody. I'm open to feedback too about how you think that we can kind of better the community and just the mindset people have about playing killer and survivor in this game. We all need to understand that we need to come together because can't have killers without survivors, can't have survivors without killers. We go hand in hand together. We fuel this game, to be played. But at a certain point, really we do need to take a step back and just be like, whoa, like let's just hold on 1 second, let's actually think about like the state of the game and what we're telling each other in the end game chat. And just know that, no matter how small or how big of an insult you've been told, I'm here for you. Your voice is definitely heard here. Your opinion is valid. And I've gotten to the point now where I'm just gonna start making videos. Every time I go through something like this, I'm just gonna make videos and I'm gonna raise every sort of flag. I'm gonna raise every sort of amount of exposure we can, because no one should ever have to go through this, We shouldn't have this sort of divided community where this shit is just like we're desensitized to it. No, fuck that. We need to talk about this, and we need to talk about how bad these people are, to say some shit like that. Come together, figure out how we can fix it, and we make a better, healthier community. That's gonna be it for my rant today, y'all. I'll see y'all on the next one, and thank you so much for watching. Again, if you are someone that regularly goes through this sort of hate, just know that I got your back, my community has your back, and we're gonna get through it together, y'all. And with that, I'll see y'all on the next video. Peace out. Say goodbye, Dwight. Say goodbye to YouTube.